Christy Williamson asked a question about Dickinson's life. Did she really never see a moor? And is that geographical or racial? Or the sea? As a Shetlander, I struggle to imagine that.
Wow.
So trying to imagine what the kinds of images that are available and the kinds of folks and interpersonal relationships that are available to Dickinson as a way of reading her poems.
Okay. Would you put a pin in that? And maybe we'll get back to it. That's a Modpo Plus poem.
Super.
It is, the poem, it has never been read racially. It's a poem that seems to be about the sea and the land, that kind of Moor. But it's hard to see it and not think of it another way. And Christy, who is Shetland, a Shetlander, thinks about being surrounded by water all the time, and is a poet. So maybe we'll get back to that. That's great. Allie, you'll have to scramble to look at it. It's a short poem.
Can you say
I never saw a Moor. It's number 5 in Modpo Plus, and I'll read the text. And it's very weird. One of the reasons why we use this poem is because there is an edited version. So this is a chance for us to talk about what happened when editors rewrote Dickinson. So I'll read the Dickinson version of it, and then I'll read the edited version of it, okay? All right, here's the Dickinson version. I never saw a moor, I never saw the sea, yet know I how the heather looks, and what a billow be. I never spoke with God, nor visited in heaven, yet certain am I of the spot, as if the checks were given. That's hard. That's hard. Here's the stupid, idiotic Stedman anthology. They should never have done this to Dickinson version. I never saw a moor, I never saw the sea, yet know I how the heather looks and what a wave must be. I never spoke with God nor visited in heaven, yet certain am I of the spot, as if the chart were given. Yeah. They took the word check and made it chart, and check was capitalized. Okay.
They took out a lot of the capitalizations, and they moved all the dashes to other...
Oh, definitely not into dashes.
No.
This is really important to know. Would we today, I'd like to think not, but would anybody today say, oh, thanks for that poem, we're going to change it. We'll let you know how it goes. Yeah, no. Okay. I'll say what I think the first stanza means, and then we'll go to Allie and then Jason. All right? All right. I think she's saying, I haven't had the kind, you think I'm around, I'm not a person of the world. I've never seen in person a moor or the sea. And yet, I know what the heather looks like, and I know something about a billow. So I haven't been down there by the sea, but I know it. So that works fine, and that's a classic Dickinsonian gambit, which is I'm so inexperienced, I'm in my room, and I'm just writing. But she knows a priori about these things. Now, the second stanza, all bets are off. I've never spoken with God nor visited in heaven, yet certain am I, and then it goes awry and we have no idea. Okay. So, Allie, what do you think?
I think that I kind of think of the second stanza as dealing with faith, where the first stanza deals more with imagination.
Yes. Great.
Checks always trips me up.
Yeah. I think one year we kind of speculated. Do you remember?
I don't remember what's coming into my head now, as opposed to kind of like financial checks.
Yes,
I think
there's
of it
that.
As in checking in, kind of noting that, attesting to some sort of witnessing.
Yes. How about a simple connotation? I mean, what do you do when you give a coat? When you go to a restaurant, you give them your coat. What do you get?
Right. So you have the ticket.
I think we call it a check, a coat check.
There, yeah.
I mean, I've never spoken with God, and I haven't visited heaven, but I think I know where heaven would be. It's a pretty swank place, and I go there and I get a check. Of course, it isn't I get a check. It's as if checks were given. Like, hi, Emily here in heaven. I want my check. Like, I've been here.
Or
but
Checking in.
checking in as if checks were given. Now, that doesn't help us at all.
No.
Yeah. So, Allie, before we turn to Jason, say again the second stanza. The first one saying, I haven't had experience with the sea, but I think I know stuff about the sea. Know how the heather looks is gorgeous, right?
Yeah, and the second stanza is, I have no proof of the existence of God or of heaven, but I have faith.
So the
I'm
a
certain.
priori knowing, sorry, Allie. The a priori knowing is what Emily does with experience. Sorry, I'm sounding like a fascist editor myself, but I'd like her to switch those stanzas because I almost want her to say, it's because I'm not a religionist, because I'd like her to say, yeah, I know this God stuff where you're supposed to say, I've never actually experienced God, but I know he exists. This is what believers say. Now I want to turn to experience, and I'm going to say that my worldliness functions in the same way. I believe in the world, but I don't have to know it. That's a very radical thing. Anyway, Jason, what's your thought?
My thought is, I agree with everything that's been said, and I know that the placement seems linear, but I think just the dual stanza makes it easy to switch them back and forth in a way.
Yeah. Parts are interchangeable always.
Yeah, and I wanted to try to bring Whitman into this a little bit by, at the end of the first canto of Song of Myself, the line is nature without check with original energy. So we got a check there too.
Good job.
And Whitman says, for every atom belonging to me, as good belongs to you.
Yes.
So in a way, even though they're formally so different, there is a common recognition of, from one, in a sense, for Whitman, from one experience, one can posit all experience.
Yeah.
And for Dickinson, the imagination can encompass all experiences and is equally valid.
Yeah. Interesting. Thank you. And thanks, Christy, for posing that.